internet, it's Monica, and today I am doing a video that I am very excited for, very nervous for, a little bit of mixed emotions here. Today I am going to be DMing authors to ask them for book recommendations. This is very much so a new level of me putting myself out there that I do not typically do. I am an extrovert, but I am not the kind of extrovert who will just DM people I don't know. So I feel so nervous, but I'm so excited because this is a video that I have seen going around throughout YouTube with like people DMing celebrities and stuff, and it's so interesting to me, like the responses they get. So I've always wanted to do this with authors. So I am going to be getting book recommendations from authors, and the set of recommendations that I get is going to be my TBR for the month of September. So then at the end of September, I'll come back on here and I'll let you know what I thought of all these books. So I am going to be DMing authors on Instagram. And Instagram, if you guys do not know, it's sort of like a mixed bag with DMing. So basically, if you are verified or if you have over 10,000 followers, your messages look different. So if you are, so for example, I did not know this until recently, I recently just surpassed 10,000 Instagram followers, which is wild to me. Also, if you aren't following me on Instagram, you should totally do that. I recently surpassed that number, and I didn't realize that your like messages section completely changes. So typically when you have less than 10,000 followers or you're not verified, you have two spots of messages. You have people you know, people you don't know. But then once you go over that limit, you have the people you know, and that's split into like your preferred people. So those are like your close buddies, like people you're really buddies. Why did I use that word? Your close friends, basically. And so you always get alerts from them. And then you have general, which is basically like everyone else. And then you also have the people who are requesting to message you, and that Instagram's algorithm sorts them by top requests and like all requests. So I know that this is going to be kind of a mixed bag because I am not verified and most of these authors are not following me. So I am intrigued to see who messaged me back. And 100% no tea, no shade to anybody who doesn't message me back, because like Instagram is not their job. It's like not their job to be checking their like request messages, and also I'm kind of doing this with a short time frame. So like just want to put that out there, that quick disclaimer. It's okay if an author ignores me or just like doesn't get my message. That's fine. But with that in mind, I have created a list of a bunch of authors that I want to message. I basically broke it up into like different types of novels that I'm interested in reading. So fantasy novels, contemporary, spooky season novels, travel/international novels, and paranormal. So those are sort of the books that I'm sort of in the mood to read right now. So to kick things off, I'm going to go ahead and DM Victoria Schwab, an exciting moment in my life. So Victoria Schwab does actually follow me, which is wild. So hopefully she actually gets this alert. We'll see. Okay. So I'm writing, and I'm probably just going to do something similar to this message for every person I DM. Hey Victoria, I'm working on a new booktube video where I DM my favorite authors asking for book recommendations. Would you want to participate and tell me a favorite fantasy novel you love? So hit send. And then I'm also going to DM Jessica Townsend because maybe she might have like a good Australian fantasy recommendation since she is from Australia. And then also Rainbow Rowell because Wayward Son comes out so soon and I'm so excited. And I'm just intrigued to know like what fantasy novels she might recommend. So let's send those messages. So next, for contemporary stories, I have three authors who I would just love to get a contemporary recommendation from one of these three, and they are Jenny Han, Morgan Matson, and Sarah Dessen. All three of them, I feel like they probably get a lot of messages from readers, but we're gonna try our luck, friends. We're gonna try our luck. Because it's September, it's the end of August, beginning of September, I'm very much so in a fall, autumn mood. I just want autumn. It's so hot right now. I cannot handle it. So I am craving spooky season. So I will be DMing 2 authors I love. I would honestly be shocked if either of them DM'd me back, but they are Leigh Bardugo and Libba Bray. So Leigh Bardugo's 9th House book comes out in just a couple of months, and then Libba Bray, finally, the 4th Dividers book is coming out in 2020, which I'm so excited for. So yeah, I'm gonna send them both a message. So recently I read Jennifer E. Smith's Field Notes on Love, and I loved it. It was such a wonderful, like, travel YA book. It just made me, like, love and want to go on a train ride across the country. So I've been also in the mood for, like, more travel books. Also, I have some travel coming up that I'm excited for. So I want, like, a novel that either is like a travel themed novel or takes place in another country. Also, because of Christine's book, Again But Better, read that. It made me, like, miss the days when I was studying abroad in London so badly. So yeah, definitely in a big travel mood. So of course I have to message the authors who have, like, put me into this mood. And so Jennifer E. Smith and Christine Riccio, you're both getting a DM. Luckily Christine follows me, so hopefully she won't ignore me. I think I'm also going to message Maureen Gu because Somewhere Only We Know, it takes place in Hong Kong, and it also, like, really sparked, like, a travel desire for me, and I love that it is set in this just very different setting from what I typically read about. So yeah, let's just DM Maureen Gu and hope for the best. Oh my god. Victoria Schwab just DM'd me. Maybe we're fangirling. Last but certainly not least, I have been in a major paranormal mood. This was hugely inspired by Kat Cho. I read Wicked Fox and it just made me want to read all of YA paranormal, but I really don't know where to start. Like, I just feel like I don't really know that world anymore of paranormal. I do know that I'm very excited for Renee Audier's upcoming vampire novel, so maybe someone will suggest that, although I don't think that comes out until, like, October. So if someone suggests that, I'm gonna have to try and get an early copy. So we'll see. But for this, I'm going to be DMing 3 different authors. Renee Audier, who is the author of The Beautiful, which I'm so excited for. That's the vampire novel. Kat Cho, of course, because she inspired this desire to read more paranormal. And then C.B. Lee, who is the author of Not Your Sidekick. I don't talk enough about this book on my channel. I read it a while ago and I really enjoyed it. It's maybe not so much paranormal, it's more like supernatural because they're superheroes. And I feel like when I heard, I think it's called The Good Boys or something like that, the show that's on Amazon, where it, like, is about superheroes and what superheroes would really be like, it gives me major Not Your Sidekick vibes, because Not Your Sidekick is set in sort of a post-apocalyptic world where there are superheroes, but they're maybe not what you think, and it's sort of like an exploration of, like, if superheroes were really real, like, what might they actually be like, and, like, the government and all that. It's so interesting, so good, so diverse. Love it. So excited to hear what she might suggest. So I think those are all of the authors that I'm going to be DMing. I'm going to go film a couple more videos and I will be back in a little bit to check out what was suggested to me to read. Hello! Okay, so it has been a minute and now I'm going to go in and see what responses I got. I obviously can't read a ton of books in a month. Like, if every author DM'd me back, I cannot read all of those books. So I'm just going to take the first 5 who had messaged me, and I'm super excited. So first off, we have Victoria Schwab, and she says, oh no! Okay. Victoria Schwab suggests Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Okay, so if you guys have been watching my channel for a minute, you might know that I spent like 3 reading vlogs, like months of my life reading this book, and I loved it. I truly loved every moment I spent reading it, but I just could never finish it because it's very verbose, it's very long, and it's a little dry. It basically reads like an Austen novel, but like if magic existed. I just feel like I was not in the mindset to read it. So I'm actually honestly like really excited that she suggested this one. I just like have that initial like, oh, I hope I can finish it this time, because I truly did love it while I was reading it. I was just struggling to finish it. So honestly, you know what, Victoria Schwab told me that I should read this book, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read it. I'm really excited. And then Christine, she suggested, and again, reminder that I asked Christine for like a travel type of book, so she suggested Just One Day by Gail Forman. I feel like Gail Forman, and this book in particular, was like such a staple of BookTube, and I never read it. I never read anything by Gail Forman, so I'm actually super excited for this. This one says that it is about when sheltered American good girl Allison Healy meets laid-back Dutch actor Willem de Ruyter at an underground performance of Twelfth Night in England. There's an undeniable spark. After just one day together, that spark bursts into flames, and so it seems to Allison. Until the following morning, when she wakes up after a whirlwind day in Paris to discover that Willem has left. Over the next year, Allison embarks on a journey to come to terms with the narrow confines of her life, and through Shakespeare travel in a quest for her almost true love to break free of those confines. That actually sounds so good. I don't think I ever knew the premise of these novels. There were like a couple like one-day books that came out a few years ago. I feel like there was an Anne Hathaway film based off of one of them that like literally makes me angry every time I think about it. But this one sounds really good. I'm super excited to read this one. And again, I'm super into like a travel mood right now. So thank you, Christine. Hyped to read that one. So the next person who responded to me is Kat Cho. Super excited. I adored Vic and Fox so much, so I cannot wait to see what she recommends. So she says, "Hi Monica, I loved Readathon. I mentioned that in my DM that I was the person who ran Readathon. Paranormal is so hard because YA refuses to call anything that these days." That's actually very interesting and like makes a lot of sense, because I feel like a lot of people, like, there's like this weird like paranormal stigma after like Twilight and everything, so no one wants to call anything paranormal. Anyways, if I went a little older, I'd definitely say The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa, Elemental series by Bridget Kemmerer, Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, and more recently, The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. Okay, so definitely The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I'm gonna try and get that one because, like I said earlier, I'm really excited for it, and I knew someone was gonna recommend it, to be honest. So I'm pretty hyped. I read Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black and I loved it. I love Holly Black's books. So I'm not gonna do that one, but The Immortal Rules and Elemental, I'm gonna check those ones out really quick. Julie Sakamoto survives in the fringe, the outermost circle of a walled-in city. By day, she and her crew scavenge for food. By night, and any one of them could be eaten. All that drives Allie is her hatred of them, the vampires who keep humans for food. Until the night Allie herself dies and becomes a vampire. I'm into this. Okay, that sounds angsty. It sounds good. That is definitely... Okay, let's look up Elemental by Bridget Kemmerer. Oh, these look very old school. This one says, Becca Chandler is suddenly getting all the guys, the ones she doesn't want, ever since her ex-boyfriend spread those lies about her. Then she saves Chris Merrick from a beating in the school parking lot. Chris is different, way different. He can control water, just like his brothers can control fire, wind, and earth. They're powerful, dangerous, marked for death. And now that she knows the truth, so is Becca. Secrets are hard to keep when your life's at stake. When Hunter, the mysterious new kid around school, turns up with a talent for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, Becca thinks she can trust him. But then Hunter goes head-to-head with Chris, and Becca wonders who's hiding the most dangerous truth of all. The storm is coming. ... Okay, that sounds, again, super, super angsty. Definitely on my radar. I think for me, I'm gonna try for The Beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can request that. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter and you can find out if I actually get approved. I'm gonna try for The Beautiful, and then my runner-up I think is gonna be the Julie Kagawa series, because I've always wanted to read Julie Kagawa, so that'll be a good place to start probably. So I think that's gonna be my plan B. So cool, got that. CB Lee DM'd me back. Thank you. She said, for YA, I'd say Rules and Regulations for Mediating Myths and Magic by F.T. Lukens. I've never heard of that book before. Okay, let's look it up. I've never, like, the other ones, like, sounded vaguely familiar. This doesn't sound familiar at all. which is really exciting for me because it's like rare for me to like hear about a book that I've just like never heard of. Desperate to pay for college, Bridger Witt is willing to overlook the peculiarities of his new job. Entering via the roof, the weird stacks of old books and even older scrolls, the seemingly incorporeal voices he hears from time to time. But it's pretty hard to ignore being pulled under Lake Michigan by mermaids? Worse yet, this happens in front of his new crush, Leo, the dreamy football star who just moved to town. Fantastic. Oh my god, I'm sold. This sounds so interesting. When he discovers his eccentric employer, Pavel, is an intermediary between the human world and its myths, Bridger is plunged into a world of pixies, werewolves, and Sasquatch. The realm of myths and magic is growing increasingly unstable, and it is up to Bridger to ascertain the cause of the chaos, eliminate the problem, and help his boss keep the real world from finding the world of myths. This sounds so good. Also, sorry if you can hear sirens. New York City life. Anyways, this sounds amazing, and like, I love that it is, I think, a gay romance, and it's paranormal. That's awesome. Into it. Sold. Definitely gonna be reading that one. I'm going to order it for my, should I order it at the page? No. I'm moving soon. I'm gonna get it for my Kindle. Next up, who messaged me next? So next up, Renee Audier, author of The Beautiful herself. So she suggested Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. Okay. I'll be 100% honest. I have never in my life wanted to read Anne Rice. It's never been a thing where I've been like, yes, time for me to read Anne Rice. She's never even been on like a lifetime TBR list for me. Never. But you know what? We're gonna do it. Or at least we're gonna try. I honestly don't even know what these books are about. Is that bad? The Vampire Chronicles. I just know that Tom Cruise is a vampire. That's the series, right? Yeah, Interview with a Vampire. So I guess that's the first one. And I think it's just someone interviewing. The Vampire Chronicles is a series of novels and media franchise created by American writer Anne Rice that revolves around the fictional character Lestat de Lioncourt. Lestat? Sure. A French nobleman turned into a vampire in the 18th century. Rice said in 2008 interview that her vampires were a metaphor for lost souls. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna try out this series and we'll see what I think. And then maybe I'll watch the film because I've also never seen the film and I've always wanted to watch it, but I haven't. So we'll do that. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, that is the last one. So that is my TBR for the month of September. I have, I think, 5 books in total now to read. That is a pretty good number for me. I'm also going to be reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone as like a side project. I'm doing basically a Harry Potter, just a solo reread of the series that I'm titling Hogwarts A Homecoming, mostly because I just wanted to use that hashtag. So so I'm going to be rereading Harry Potter and starting that in September. So that is the only additional book that I'm adding to this TBR, but that's what I'm planning on reading in September. I'm super excited for this. If any of the authors who DM'd me back are watching this, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts. Super helpful, and I'm so excited. I'd love to hear from you guys watching what you think of these picks. Do you think I'm gonna love them? Do you think I'm gonna hate them? Let me know in the comments down below. What book would you have suggested for each category? Obviously not all of the categories were filled, so I didn't end up getting a book recommendation for a contemporary novel or a spooky season novel. Honestly, I don't think I could read any more than 5, and I'm kind of excited for this very like paranormal fantasy month that I'm about to have. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye!